Welcome to the wall. Today, we will witness the divorce of a woman who calls herself Single Mother Lifestyles, showing how she married a beta provider solely for his resources, how she deceived him, and how she victimizes herself, claiming to be an example for her children. Before we begin, we want to thank you for being here. Your support means a lot to us. If you like what you see, we invite you to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. We would also love to hear about your experiences in the comments. Your participation helps us grow and reach more people. Thank you for being part of our project. Let's get started.
It's kind of a long story. I'll try and see if I can fit it in 60 seconds. So we met in our early 20s. We got married at 27, and we did not have the connection and the chemistry that we should have, if that makes sense, in like the bedroom. And I married the nice guy, and he married the hot girl. And we were best friends. Got along so well. We did not fight. We got along so well. But after 14 years together, 12 years married, that lack of chemistry and connection became a huge hole in our marriage. And we filled it with other people. So it was just, our marriage had run its course, and we had our kids together, and that's awesome. And he's happily remarried, and that's great. And I'm happy for him. Okay, so my divorce post is not rare. Yeah, so did I know before I got married? Of course I did. I was 27 when I got married. I was 26 when I got engaged. You think you know everything in your 20s. And everyone had told me my entire life, passion fades, passion fades, passion fades. So I took that as, you didn't need it. If it fades, why do you even need it? Better off to marry the nice guy, right? I had dated all the douchebags in my 20s and had my heart broken. So I was like, I'm going to go with the nice guy. And to be perfectly honest, he'd been a nerd in high school. He'd never gotten the pretty girls. And I think he married me because I was beautiful. I am beautiful, you know? And we were best friends. Best friends. And that carried us along for a long time until it didn't.
See what happens to the beta provider? Yes, because this man was a textbook beta provider. Surely he was chasing after this woman, who isn't even that beautiful. She was about to hit the wall at 26, and you can see she was a hot woman. Just look at the intro, how she dances. She loved chads, men who bring nothing to the table except their seed. That's why she says she's dating all the idiots who broke her heart. In short, she's riding the carousel. None of those men wanted her. She settled for the nerd. Women like her shouldn't be saved. That's why a woman's past matters. This woman clearly had a high body count, but surely the simp was always chasing after her, as if there were no other women. She just settled for him because of his resources, what he brings to the table, because she didn't like him in bed. If she doesn't like it, be prepared for her to cheat on you like this woman did to this man. And I want you to notice something. She knew it since she was 26. She didn't like this man. But because she was nearing the wall, she chose him to have her children and resources, only for that reason. But she cheated on him with who? Surely with a Chad, with a man who drove her crazy in bed. Brothers, a woman's past matters. If she belongs to the streets, get out of there.
Divorce is morally neutral. It's not a matter of morality. You can get divorced and still be a good person. It's morally neutral. Divorce is morally neutral. Don't stay for the kids. That's like one of the number one things I'm seeing in my comments. I'm staying for the children. I'm staying for the children. Part of the reason I left was because of the children. I get it. I get it. Thinking about having your children only half the time is nauseating, right? It makes you sick to your stomach to think about. But I didn't want to set the example for my children that lukewarm was what marriage looked like. And if you don't have a healthy marriage, your kids will know. And then they'll think that's what marriage is. And then they'll get into a marriage and think, well, this is like my parents. Would you tell your children to stay in a marriage that didn't fulfill them? Why do you?
A few moments later.
Lately she's been dressing for revenge. Ladies know people want someone sweet and kind and fun. The ladies know people.
You can't make this shit up.
You can't make up this shit. Look at the example. This woman gives him her children, cheats on their father, says she married without love for his money, admits she liked bad boys, and if her ex-husband wasn't good in bed. To top it off, she becomes a dancer after the divorce. But you are a great example of what the modern woman is like today. Your children will be proud. Even better, say all of this on video so there's no doubt about your decision. Because I always say, a woman is faithful to her emotions. If you put a woman on an emotional roller coaster, she'll give you everything. This man never treated her like she was ugly. He devalued himself, didn't put her through anguish, uncertainty, and instability. Women like this, especially those who've been with many chads, if you give her everything on a silver platter, she'll only see you as her puppet. That's why she cheated, because he didn't have the courage to dump her. That's why she left him. That's why she married him, because she was the man in the relationship. Brothers, never date women accustomed to the bad life. They're not wife material. This man treated her like a queen, and she left him to go dancing in clubs, hanging out with chads. It gets even worse. Check out this woman's next video.
Like, what kind of stories do you want to know? To be perfectly honest, it's kind of slow in the poly world for me. I've had a friends with benefits sort of pop back in, and I'll probably continue to engage there because he's fun and sweet and, like, you know, there's no strings attached there. I know that my boyfriend has ended a relationship with somebody who he met around the similar time as me, and things are sort of fizzled out, and I know he's dating somebody new. Yeah, not a whole lot going on. We have discussed our like polysaturation levels, like what is like the max out. And for both of us, it's like three things. And then we'll probably like, that's as much as we can handle. He has more free time than I do. So mine honestly might be 2. We'll see how it goes.
This woman has a fire that not even the fire department can put out. She left her relationship and her husband to be in polyamorous relationships with chads. This woman belongs to the streets, but she wants to set an example for her children. A polyamorous relationship is when a woman can be with multiple partners. It's like her partner's permission to cheat. It usually doesn't end well, but if you're a chad who just wants to get laid, having women like this is heaven on earth. You just go and she'll comply. You don't have to give her anything else. Every single man's dream. Now this woman makes it clear that she only likes intimacy. She didn't look for another beta provider. She just wanted several chads. She just wanted to be used as a public toilet. You see her dancing on platforms for more men. That's why I say you have to check a woman's past. When she has a turbulent past, even if you treat her like a queen, she'll go back to what she was because Chad eats her brain, makes her love the bad life.
Ladies, do not stay with him just because he's a nice guy. Your friends and family might not understand. What? He's such a nice guy. Yeah, he might be. But you also want to be with the guy who you want to have sex with as well. If you don't have that deep connection and that deep, deep intimacy, you'll feel alone. You'll feel alone. And I felt alone in my marriage for years. He also just did not understand my love language, which is physical touch. And I was starving. And there's nothing lonelier than being alone in your marriage. Like literally being single, it's totally way easier than being alone in your marriage.
I repeat it again, with women, intimacy is the most important thing. A woman can endure more if you're good in bed than if you treat her well and provide her with all the comforts. I'm sure many have seen women in super toxic relationships with men who treat them terribly, yet she stays with this man. He dumps her, cheats on her, mistreats her, and yet she still goes back to him. That's because she likes him in bed, because the man satisfies her well. That's why I say, a woman only seeks comfort when she's hitting the wall, but she always ends up cheating on that man or ending up in divorce. This woman is hot. She wanted an active man. This nerd, as she called him, inexperienced with women, was a textbook beta provider, didn't satisfy her as she wanted. She was crazy for the guy to pin her against the wall, for the man to be active. That's why, brother, remember, a woman is faithful to her emotions. The more emotions, both good and negative, you give to a woman, the more she clings to you because you make her invest all her attention in you. But let's see this model mother's new relationship.
So the rules that I have with my boyfriend are pretty low-key and pretty simple. Obviously, safety first with everybody else. is my number one rule. And then we've agreed that if we start dating somebody new, we'll like let the other one know, especially if there's some sort of sexual contact involved. We'll let the other one know about it. And that's pretty much it. We definitely don't have to share, like, I'm going on a date tomorrow or anything like that. I sort of sometimes do, like, if, we're just kind of talking about what's going on, I'm like, oh, I have a second date, whatever the case may be. He probably doesn't share as much, and that's just because this is his only second poly relationship, and the last one, I don't think they had any sort of, agreements at all. So, those are ours.
Brothers, this guy is only there to satisfy her in bed. This man doesn't really have it that bad because he has her. He can have others. He's a classic Chad, spreading his seed everywhere. This woman is okay with him doing that as long as he's with her. You can't make this shit up. Why do you think single mothers have ruined the current times? They destroy marriages to belong to the streets. Because now it's all about empowerment. What's the first thing feminists tell you? You have power over your body, which she interprets as you can sleep with as many as you want. Why do you think nobody takes a single mother seriously? Why do you think men only get involved with her for a night of passion? Because these women are hungry, especially when they come from a marriage where the man doesn't even touch them. This woman didn't even wait to get divorced before she was cheating while married. Just imagine how it was when she had freedom. Well, she can only see that she can't be with just one man. She has to be with several. I repeat, a woman's past does matter. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think of the life of this single mother? Would she be in a polyamorous relationship with someone? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.